Just where we left off. It's basically opening day part 2, where Devils haven't played for a long time, and now all of a sudden they're back. But it's still the middle of the season, and we have a crap ton of more games to play. How about them pesky Devils? They're in the mix. In the mix. The Devils beat the Rangers 5-2 at the Garden to beat the Rangers, and boy, does it feel great. They hadn't really skipped a beat in this one. They last played on January 31st, and they beat Buffalo on that Sunday, and then crap hit the fan. And here we are now, 2.5 weeks later, basically, playing our next game, and we still win. But in all seriousness, this game's had a lot of highs, a lot of lows, and a lot of in-between moments, I would say. I mean, it wasn't the Devils' finest game by any stretch of the matter. It was rather inconsistent throughout, but it was a good performing, being that they hadn't played in 16 freaking days. The first period was actually really well played. They couldn't get a goal to save their life, and I got to admit, Shesterkin was pretty on fire in the first period, but making a couple of saves on Wood. Wood had a couple of chances. That Wood line, we'll get more into that later, but they were good. The pass from Bratt to Janssen, I think Janssen could have scored if he shot it more towards the near post. He kind of shot in the middle of the net, and Shesterkin made a pretty good pad save on it, but really dominated 16-9 in the first half, the first period. Pretty good performance. And not to mention, they go into the second period with a power play. Typical Devils power play, looking like absolute dog water, doing nothing, giving up multiple chances, shorthanded, and not doing anything remotely effective on that power play, like usual. So with like 13 minutes left to go in the second period, the Devils go back on the power play, and before they could even take the draw in the Rangers zone, we're probably all thinking like, oh my God, can we just stop denying power plays because we're going to give up a goal? That wasn't the case. Kuokkanen gets it down low, moves it to Severson up at the top at the blue line, gives it to Zacha, and Shesterkin could not make the glove save, and Zacha snipes it on the power play for a 1-0 Devils lead. The amount of crap I give to Pavel Zacha is well deserved, but you have to give credit where credit is due, and that was a very, very good shot. If only he could be more consistent with it and do that and make other smart plays consistently, maybe I wouldn't be so hard on Pavel Zacha, but that's the situation we're in, and let's continue with this game. So really throughout the second period, the Devils played like utter garbage, being dominated constantly, not being able to get the puck out of the zone, stuff we say all the time. I sound like a broken record player at this point, but it's literally, it happens every single game with the stupid defensive zone turnovers leading to goals, and that happened again. The god tier pairing of Connor Carrick and Matt Tennyson really stood out in this game. Boy. Rangers sort of dump it into the Devil's zone from like the neutral zone. Connor Carrick gets it, swats at it to try and get it out of the zone up the boards. It's picked off by Brett Howden, I think it was, and drop pass to Colin Blackwell, whoever the hell that guy is. And he beats Blackwood, and the game is now tied. Now, listen, it's good for Connor Carrick that he's now a dad, but that doesn't mean he gets to play any worse than he usually is. I mean, he's not really that bad to begin with, but yeah, that's a dumb play, Connor. Speaking of God tier, let's actually talk about a line that is God tier, and that was the line of Kuokkanen, Zacha, and Merkley. And they were listed as the fourth line in the lineups that Amanda Stein gives before the game. They were listed as the fourth line, and man, they were unbelievable. Zaka takes the puck up in transition, somehow like tangles up with Quokkanen. He dumps it down low for Merkley. He sends it to Butcher around the near side boards. He throws it on net. Some people thought it went off of Zaka in front, might have went off of like Truba or something. And Butcher in his first game of the season now has a goal. Elite defenseman Will Butcher is on pace to score 46 goals in 46 games. Never forget. Before that goal was scored, I think a lot of us were thinking just get out of this period either at least tied, because they were just getting mopped, absolutely worked at points. The Rangers outshot the Devils 16-9 in the second period. It didn't look remotely close. The complete opposite of the team that showed up in the first period showed up in the second period, and it just looked absolutely abysmal. But then they score that goal, and it's 2-1 with a little less than 3 minutes remaining in the second period. And all right, Devils lose the lead again. Simple play in transition, and the Devils just say, here you go, go right over the blue line. We won't challenge you or anything. Here, make it easy for you. Kreider gets in low, passes to Trouba at the point, finds Buchnevich, and he shoots it past Blackwood. I am one of the biggest Mackenzie Blackwood supporters, but I kind of think he could have had that, hit his glove and bounced in, but, whatever. Let the Rangers think they're in it, but they're really not. They've had a tough season to begin with, so let them have a little hope and then just crush them in the end. I don't know if any of you follow the Twitter account, but Pavel Buchnevich's goatee is absolutely ugly as hell. And I tweeted out earlier that he looks like the homeless version of Rickety Cricket from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and I can't unsee it. Here's the picture of what he looks like. Here's the picture of Rickety Cricket. You're welcome. Now it's the third period. The team doesn't look as bad as they did in the second period, but they don't look as good as they started out the game, which is honestly fine, because as long as they're not playing like absolute dog water, I guess it's fine. So with about 9 minutes left in the third period, Jesper Bratt brings the puck in the zone with a lot of speed. He backed off all the defenders. Partial 3-on-2 with Maltsev and Sharangovich to his wings. And he takes into the zone, does a little like comeback, gives it to Subban. Subban lasers it. It goes off the Ranger stick in front of him. Then it goes off of Sharangovich's stick, who now has his second goal of the year, past Shesterkin, and now the Devils take the lead. Fun little stat for you. Yegor Sharangovich became the 7th player in NJ Devils franchise history to have each of his first 2 regular season goals stand as game winners. How about that? All right. Late in the third period, the Devils have the lead. I want to see them put pressure pedal to the MFing metal. And they did. And just a couple minutes later, the actual God tier line of Quokkanen, Merkley, and Pavel Zacha pot another one as Yanni Quokkanen picks up his 3rd assist of the game, passing it to Merkley on a one-timer from the top of the slot, beating Shesterkin, putting the dagger right into the Rangers. And it's 4-2 Devils. And just a little chef's kiss cherry on top. Rangers have an empty net with like 20 seconds left. Mikhail Maltsev, first NHL goal, and it was an empty netter. It counts all the same. It's a goal on the stat sheet. Doesn't matter. Mikhail Maltsev was listed as the second line center in today's game because there was no Zajac or Nico yet. And big body, he really looks like he can play in the NHL. I mean, he's kind of young still, but give him a few years and he probably looks like a pretty good depth forward, not going to lie. And that's it. The Devils beat the Rangers 5-2. Just a couple quick final notes that I want to add about this game. Man, Mackenzie Blackwood just keeps the lack of respect on this man is completely shameful on the entire existence of the sport of ice hockey, that this man who has a deadly respiratory disease comes back after not playing for a month, basically, and makes 32 saves on 35, 34 shots, something like that. At NHL, get on this. And Yanni Kuokkanen, man, that trade with Carolina, just an absolute manslaughter. Freaking highway robbery at its best. Hashtag extend Fitz for sure. His first career 3-assist game, now has 6 points in his last 5 games. Little slow start to start the season, but he's really looked comfortable in his last few games. And he even mentioned that he doesn't feel 100%. He had COVID and he's not 100% to his maximum strength, power, energy. And he still had 3 assists against the New York Garbage Rangers. Oh, what's in store for Yanni Kuokkanen next? And not to mention the boys in bingo, Sharon Govich getting it done, Maltsev getting it done. And Nick Merkley. I think Nick Merkley was in bingo as well. Man, the farm system is it's just loaded. Like, what else do I need to say? If you're active on Twitter, like a lot of people are that are Devils fans, the New Jersey Devils Twitter account stays undefeated always. Just absolutely destroying the career of whatever this loser Ranger fan was, saying, "Oh, can I join the Devils bandwagon?" with a dumb picture of Shesterkin and like Panarin or some dumb crap as his profile picture, and the Devils just smack him out of the park. Nope. Seats taken. You know what? Devils Twitter, thank you. Thank you very much for not only providing great content off of Twitter, but also on it. You're the real MVP. Yeah, so we're back. Yeah, so going forward, we basically play every other day, and on the weekends, we basically play back to back. So Lindy Ruff said that team practices are basically done for the year, unless some other circumstance arises. That's really what we're at this point. I was looking on the schedule today, making my adjustments for my desk calendar. The Devils play 17 games in March and 16 games in April. There are 31 and 30 days in those months. A lot of Devils hockey coming up, and I am really excited. So the upcoming games this week, they're at Boston at 7 o'clock on Thursday versus Buffalo, COVID match at 12:30 on Saturday, and at Washington now on the 21st on Sunday at 7 p.m. Like I said, a ton of Devils hockey. Can't wait. Can't wait, man. Can't wait. So with that said, that'll do it for this video. Thank you if you decided to stay the whole time. Not only should you like and subscribe, you should comment on what you thought of the video, what you thought of the game, and other things you want to see going forward. I actually have a video coming out tomorrow. I think you're going to like it. And yeah, that'll do it for this video. Thank you for watching. Let's go Devils forever and always, especially against the Rags. Sean out.